Hello, everyone. I just wanted to touch base this week briefly, give a couple of minutes of my expectations, feedback from last week. I'll provide expectations or guidance for next week in the written announcement, but I wanted to just kind of go over a few things with you. So last week we had a discussion board that answered a lot of questions. I haven't graded most of those. I'll work on those this week, but as a general expectation for these kind of discussion boards, you are expected to answer all of the questions provided. When it says, what is your response to the short story? That's your feelings, that's your thoughts, your initial reactions, anything you want to give me there. But if it talks about the story's conclusion, about the husband, ask for your feelings about those specific characters or settings or plot, you need to give me factual information from the story. I want to know you've read it. I understand there are a million resources out there online that you can get an overall, this is what happened, without ever actually reading it. This story was short, so it should not have been an issue. But it's the details, it's the quotes, it's the setting, it's anything you can give me that shows that you actually read the text and are analyzing it. That'll give you full credit on these. The story of an hour is a little bit of a twisty story. It follows Mrs. Mallard from the initial moment that we meet her to her finding out that her husband has died in this train accident far away, and then following all of these feelings, this feeling of, oh my gosh, he's gone, the sorrow, the upsetness, and then all of a sudden it transitions into this sense of freedom. We get a glimpse into Mrs. Mallard's marriage. We also have to consider at this point the time in which this story was written. There wasn't really an option for divorce. It was very frowned upon. Women got names for it. So this marriage could have been something that was awful. And if you're married or you've been in a serious relationship, you know, even if you have bad times or it isn't a great relationship, you still have a fondness or you still care about the other partner. So we see that kind of transition of sorrow to relief, to, oh my gosh, I'm free. And then again, it transitions and kind of winds up shocking us. There are definitely elements of foreshadowing in there, but it ends up shocking us when Mr. Mallard walks through the door and Mrs. Mallard dies of a heart attack. So be sure for these kind of stories, there's a lot to analyze. And I've said it before, no matter what your opinion is, if you can give me a justification from the story, you're not wrong. That's the great thing about analyzing literature. The issue I'm seeing, and it wasn't often, in the quizzes, most of y'all did really well. Some of you for the short answer about what the title meant, you can say, took place in the span of an hour. That's kind of the obvious, story of an hour. We're going to assume it's a story that takes place in an hour. A lot of you, if you just pretty much said, took place in an hour, receive a few points off because I want you to be thinking critically. I want you to be thinking, but what does that mean metaphorically? What does that mean symbolically? What else is the author trying to tell us there? In addition, I think I only got one or two of those, but you can say, I don't think it means anything, but you better tell me why it's not relevant. Give me some facts, because this title is in fact relevant to this story in more ways than one. So when I say, you can give me any answer you want and you're not wrong, it's true, you can, but you have to have good evidence to support that, or else you're going to get zero or very, very minimal credit if you just say, no, title has nothing to do with the story. So the quizzes, for the most part, unless you submitted it late last night, have been graded, but I will, again, grade those that were submitted late. Be sure you take a look at your grade. I have the quizzes set up where you can't for most of them, I think you can't see the answers, the correct answers, until after all submissions have been graded. But once that week deadline has passed, you should be able to go into the grade book, click on your grade, and it'll tell you your answer, the correct answer. If you got 100, all of those. If you got partial credit for an open-ended question, any of my feedback will be there. But be sure you take a look at the feedback so you can know, because these are things you're going to be analyzing in the future of this course as well. So I will get the discussions graded this, I would say this morning, probably throughout the week, because there are a lot of you, but I will get those done as well. So if you have questions as those grades start rolling through, just let me know. Otherwise, be sure to read through the announcement this week for guidance for next week, and I will follow up near the end of the week or early the week after with guidance over that reading. So as always, feel free to look ahead. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, let me know, ask questions. I'm here to help you. So I hope you all had a great weekend, and I will check in throughout the week. Bye.